Hey, mates, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and this is my co-host, Cream the Cat, who took my chair while I was out of the room. Go! Don't knock anything over. Don't do it. Don't. Don't you do it. Don't. That's a good Cream. You didn't actually knock anything over. I'm proud of Cream. Now if only I can do it. So today's video is going to be about Maximum Series Hulk. I'm going to talk to you today about this figure, what I love about this figure, what I think about this figure. And I gave away the bid just a minute ago because I do like this figure. This, it's nice whenever you spend a bit of money. Thanks to a subscriber of mine, Garrison LaForge, for this wonderful present for my birthday. He got me a Maximum Series Hulk because he was like, I know you wanted a Hulk, and I also know that you want to talk about something on your channel, so here. And I have been wanting a Hulk for a long time. The only closest thing to Hulk I've ever gotten was Toy Biz Maestro. Toy Biz Maestro is the only Hulk lookalike that I have, and I need to bring out Toy Biz Maestro and talk about him one day in this on this right here in front of you, because he is a fun figure. I do need to talk about him. He's a blast. So today's video, we're going to go in depth. We're going to talk about the texture of this toy. We're going to talk about the articulation of him, and we're going to get into the accessories and really talk about all of them. And then we're going to get into the size comparisons and everything that you can do with this figure, because you could do a lot with this figure. Definitely a lot. So while you're listening to me, go ahead and minimize this video. Just put me in the tiny little corner of your screen. Go to any of your normal places and pick him up, because I highly advise it. I'm putting myself behind this figure because this is just I have had a lot of fun with him. He's just been a blast. So let's get into him, and I'll stop gushing about him. We'll start gushing in a different way, right? Yeah. Okay. So first off, we talk from the toes to the head because well, he's got toes this time, but we usually cover the bottom of the feet and we talk all the way up. So today, what is that? Oh yeah. We've got so back here on his foot, there's no texturing on the underside of his feet on the back ends of them, but this toe that articulates 45 degrees, actually almost 90 down, and then 45 degrees up is a so what is that? Yeah, I'd give that 80 degrees down. He he's got this wonderful texturing on the underside of his toes, and it's stuff that I was not expecting to find. I've got Toy Biz stuff that doesn't have that. Nobody ever thinks to texture that part, except for GI Joe. Like GI Joe's doing really great with the texturing at the bottom of the feet, and this is a little annoying, but typical of the Marvel Legends team. There's just a spot that's not really textured well, and there's little edges that come up. It's all right. It works. It works out pretty good, and the toes are amazingly done. I like that they're slightly squished at the bottom, so because they're just standing toes. They're nice. They're nice. They're nice toes. I like the tops of them. All the different textures you get there. It feels like he's got hair on his toes. There's interestingly enough, it feels like his pointer toe is slightly longer than his big toe, and people are different. Some have pointer toes that are shorter than big toes, but he's got this wonderful little vein, little artery going down from his ankle all the way across the foot, and you can feel its little tributaries going off on either side, and that's just a nice little attention to detail there. It's swimmingly, it's awesome. There's even tendons detailed into these feet. These feet are amazing. Now you come up here to the leg, and the foot has, in addition to that texturing at the one end, he doesn't have a toe tilt, like a boot swivel. So there's no way to swivel this foot except up here at the thighs. So you got to swivel it there. But he does have movement of back and forth on a heavy ratchet, which is good because this guy needs it. And then he's got ankle tilt on each side, and you can tilt it all the way around and try to break your foot, which I'm not going to do because I like my Hulk too much to stretch that out, and I'm not going to do it. I don't advise you spin that around all the way either. The only ones you should do that with are the zombie characters. Now, up here is his lower leg. We've got just epic muscle. Okay, this muscle's so thick. Where's my normal figure? Oh, here we go. And I've upgraded my B.A.T. he is now the iron-granadier bat, which is the better version of the bat in my opinion. And here is the iron-granadier bat's lower leg compared to Hulk's lower leg. Like it's a stick. It's like iron-grenadier's leg, Bat's leg is actually the bone for Hulk's leg. It's wild how much bigger around his legs are. And that's even at the bottom of it. You come up here to the pants, and we get this ripped fabric texture all the way around the pants. And it's not just sculpted in directly to the plastic below it, this leg piece. No, it's actually a part. You can put your fingernail underneath or your finger underneath these edges, and they move around whenever you're moving these joints. So we have him in a locked in knee, but I'm going to spin him around to the back, and as this leg goes back, that little, there's that, okay? It's just that much, okay? But we're going to do it again. Now look, watch. That piece is going to move. It moves. It moves. It didn't need to, but it does, and I love it for it. I do. That's like I love that just as much as I like on and I'm going to bring out the bat again because I want to point out this other feature here. He's got a double jointed elbow, nuts. And his double jointed elbow has a little piston thing that like comes out of the back end of it. And I really liked it when I like it when they do that, when they add some sort of little piece of plastic that moves with the initial figure. And I found the chest piece. Thank God it wasn't that hard. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this back on him. Good grief, man! Losing your chest piece in the middle of a video, you must be so embarrassed. Okay, Janet Jackson up in there. Okay, coming up here to his legs, we've got the blue jean texture that we talked about with Meowskulls. Actually, I think I just brought it up recently with another figure. We were talking about the blue jeans texture, and it's right here with the Hulk too. But it's a stretched out blue jean texture because the Hulk is wearing stretchy blue jeans, but they're not blue; they're purple. They're stretchy purple jeans, but they're stretched out as far as they can stretch, especially around these huge hulking muscles in his thighs. Like this is Squatocles right here. He's not he's not Hulk, he's Squatocles. Like look at that, it's insane. Around here to the back, we've got these wonderful little stretched out fabrics going up his butt, and there's the sew line where the two sides of the blue jeans are like sewn together, and it comes out to be really well done. And we've got some more little belt loops over here on the sides. He's got belt loops. Like, why does he have belt loops? I don't know why he's got belt loops, but he's got belt loops, and isn't that cool? And it goes all the way around to the front, and you've got this. It feels like there's no button there, so this must be one of those hook and loop style blue jean pants. And we've got a fold over fabric for the zipper. Really well done. Even going so far as to do the fold over seam again below the zipper, and it goes all the way between his legs. And if you feel down here, you actually find that all four of the fold over seams intersect at his tank, and that's pretty cool. Even on the inset of his legs here, you got the fold over. It goes now. It doesn't really come down. Does it come down the inside of your leg on this side? Yeah, you can match the fold over to the fold over above it on the outside of his leg. Look at that. It goes all the way down. That fold over sewn bit. Why did they sculpt that? Because they wanted it to be maximum detail. That's why they sculpted in the fold over seam going down the inside of his pants on each side. That's beautiful. Okay, I've spent enough time on the pants. I like the pockets on the back. I'll mention that one last because he's got two pockets on his butt cheeks. It's so good. Okay, coming up here to the Spartan style six-pack he has, because every time I feel the six-pack, it makes me want to scream, "This is Sparta!" And I love it. I love how big they are. I love how thick they are. Just bringing out the bat again because I want you to get an understanding of this. Okay, look at that. I'm gonna raise the bat's arms up above his chest. Come on, arms. There you go. And that is just even. Just down here it is where his six-pack is. It's wider than the shoulders. Actually, it's almost the same width as the shoulders for the bat. His lower core, where his abs are. Hulk's abs are as wide as the bat's shoulders. That's just insanity, right? He's still big. Okay, coming up here now. The negative on the joints, because I didn't talk about these. So his side to side isn't really that great. His legs, when it comes to his hips, aren't the most maneuverable. But we have a full 360-degree swivel in the upper thigh. We can kick side at about 45. We can kick forward at about 45. We can kick back at less than 45. I'd give that one like 20. And then we have a 360-degree swivel here for his waist, but it really does suck because it's not the cup and ball style waist swivel that I really enjoy from action figures these days. It's the normal two pieces that are stacked on top of each other, swivel apart from each other, which means that with how wide and skinny he is at the same time, because he is sidewise here. He's not as wide as you would expect a Hulk to be. Like he's not round. He's a very elliptical shape, and that means that when you twist this, it just doesn't look right. It gives this huge finger width wide area, which kind of sucks. So it's okay though, because up here at the top, this joint area for his upper squishy body, we've got the cup and ball style joint for this. So he can lean left, he can lean right, he can lean back, he can lean forwards, he can spin 360 degrees up there. He can do that. He can do all of these things, and they make him an awesome figure. Look at him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at him wiggle. He can wiggle. And that's cool. So we do get that joint, but it's in the upper area. So be aware of that. Okay, when you're posing him, you can give him like one click down here, but only about that much, because even at one click, it's just a bit too much. Then you can do more of his posing from up here, and that's using two joints to accomplish something. And I think it works out pretty good. Now we're going to come up here and talk about his upper body, because this is the interesting part. This is the squishy fabric, and I've been trying to think of a way to describe this squishy fabric to you in a way that maybe you can find something at home that you can judge for yourself on. And what I found is that if you take a one of those pool pool toys, the inflatable kind, but not the ones that have the thin vinyl, the thick vinyl, the expensive pool toys. You take one of those, deflate it, and lay it flat, and then you fold it over once, and then you fold it over once more. All right, now those 8 layers of fabric pressed down against each other should be about the right thickness for this guy. It may be 4 pieces, it may be 8, but I think that's the best way you can get to the feeling of it, because that's the way it feels to me. It feels like it's that type of material that's just really, really, really thick. And that's what I'm getting with this guy's chest area. And I like that, because those pool floaties are made to withstand sunlight and all sorts of other things, and they still manage. And I'm sure that keeping him in a temperature enclosed environment, he will be okay. We're not going to see anything. I am worried about discoloration between these, but then again, I'm not worried about discoloration between these because I don't care. Uh, though I do love the sculpt work, and that's what I'm going to mention here now. Is his sculpt work for these pecs is just massive. It's huge. One of his pecs is the size, actually, is larger than the head of a bat. Like, look, here's our bat friend again, coming up, and there's the head. Like, boop. He's bigger than the head of a bat, and he's got Hulk nipples too. He's got 2 little Hulk nipples. I love it. I just love it. And then the sternum here, that bone is the muscles are all scrunched down to the sternum bone, and so you can feel all these different rivets in his skin as there's just different different tendons going down to connect. And this guy is just maximum bodybuilder kind of feeling to him. He's just, if you've ever seen one of those bodybuilders, that's what this guy is. Like, if you ever feel anything like that, that's what this guy is. He's a bodybuilder. He's got the muscle type. His trapezius is huge. It goes all the way up to the underside of his skull, so he barely has a neck. And that does hurt his articulation here in his head. He looks down a little bit, and he can look up a little bit. And he can crack his head to the left a little bit, and to the right a little bit. And he can also go 360 degrees, which means that he can scream at the heavens. And then he spins his head back around. That's about the movement for his head. And then we got this wonderful butterfly down here in the core, which, by the way, has an insane ratchet. Listen to this ratchet. Sounds like I'm cracking my knuckles. It's wild. And it's just an insane ratchet, and that's needed for the other effects that he has. So coming over here to his arms, just insane muscle all the way around. Interesting articulation because he can move his arm up at 45 degrees. He can spin it 360 with a heavy ratchet, which was really nice for holding things up. And interestingly enough, he's got an upper bicep swivel and a lower bicep swivel, so you can basically swivel the biceps separately. Look at that. He's got trapezius muscles in front, and it's just freaky. But you could do that, and that is some really great articulation there. That means you can get him in some great poses, and it's important, and that's going to be important for when we do the thunderclap in a bit. So coming over here, only a single jointed elbow, and I wish with how stiff the ratchets have been everywhere else that we had a stiffer elbow ratchet. I really do. Moving over here to the front of it, we've got a side to side motion in the hand and more of that amazing muscle texture, more of that amazing skin texture, that flat skin texture that we got getting this entire time. Coming over to the rest of his hand, just amazing detail here. In his relaxed open hand, we've got thumbnail, fingernails. We've got each of these fingers independently done. How thick is his fingers, you may ask? His fingers are as thick as a bat's arm. Yeah, yeah. Watch this. Okay, stand still. All right. Now I'm gonna pluck the hand off of my bat real quick, and we're going to plug the handhold into the finger. Look at that. The finger is wider. That's the thumb. There. Let's get a good finger going. Okay, and there we are. That's insane. Okay, the finger for the Hulk is still wider than the wrist for the bat. There's just he's big. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that you understand that in many ways as I possibly can. How big this guy is. Now let's talk about some of his accessories because that's about all for his hands and stuff. Okay, texture wise amazing. Weight wise, where's my? Oh, you know what? No, not you. Where did he go? Here he is. Owlbear is my heaviest 1/12 scale action figure I own, and he is well at least like that's perfectly to scale. So Mr. Owlbear and Mr. Owlbear and Hulk weigh almost the same. The Owlbear weighs a bit more, but the Hulk's weight is more evenly distributed across his body, and that's another reason why I really appreciate this front squishy area is because that does cut the weight down on the Hulk. Like if the Owlbear here had the front squishy area on him, he wouldn't weigh nearly as much as he does, nor be near as hard to pose as he is. He's really hard to pose since he's got all the weight up here. But we're going to stretch the owlbear out real quick, and we're just going to, since I'm talking about owlbear on camera, we're going to do the quick owlbear comparison, and then we're going to get into the accessories. So I'm standing owlbear up at his full height, which means that he won't be able to stand without help, because he doesn't like standing at full height without assistance. And then we've got Hulk here at nearly full height, almost full height. The Hulk is at full height. Good. Good. Okay, I didn't actually change anything for that. Great. Now we can put them face to face with each other, and we get that the owlbear, his beak can get like the top of Hulk's forehead, but the top of Hulk's hair and the top of the owlbear's head are on the same. Like they can look each other in the eyes. They are nose to nose. They're just they both have screamy faces. I love it. But the owlbear and Hulk, shoulder to shoulder, both at the same area. Actually, I think the Hulk's shoulders are slightly taller than the owlbear's shoulders. It's just the owlbear's neck and head are taller than the Hulk's neck and head. It comes out to very good. Now, let's raise up the Hulk's arm here. We're going to lay down owlbear real quick. Raise up the Hulk's arm because I want to showcase the leg changes here. Because Hulk, stand. Okay, and yeah, I like that about the Hulk too. He does stand pretty easy. Now we raised up their arms because I'm comparing their waists together. I want to see, and it is as I thought, the Hulk is actually just a little bit longer on legs than Owlbear, but not by much. Not by much. Not by much. These two figures work well against each other, in my opinion. I do like them. So we're going to set the owlbear off to the side. We're done talking about him for the video. He's heavy and cumbersome. Now let's get the Hulk back together. There we go, Mr. Hulk. And let's set him off over here to the side and talk about the accessories that he comes with, because he does come with some amazing accessories. And Meowscles. That I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but the pants texturing for Hulk and Meowscles pants texturing are very similar. Now let's see. We've got different fists, and where's my heads? Where's my heads at? Oh, they're down here. Okay, so we've got polite Hulk, which is this Hulk who's got combed out hair. It seems like he's washed. This is professional Hulk. Okay, this is the Hulk that has a briefcase and a little suit, and he's going, or actually a giant suit, but he's going to work. He's going to work every day. This is Hulk with slight smile, work face Hulk. Okay, that's now this other Hulk face here, this is the big guy. Like this is picture day Hulk as I call it. He's got the greased up hair. It's slightly shiny. It's thicker. It flows down a bit better. Like he's gotten some hair extensions or something. You can feel like different ways that the hair is actually kind of separate, yet it's still on him. So the little tips of the hair can actually move slightly. I like that. I like that about his hair sculpt here. This hair sculpt is amazing. And then he come here into his forehead, and I love the little twirl of hair on each side, and then the eyebrows there, and then just this giant grinning face. He's got such a big grin. It's Hulk doesn't want to do picture day, but Hulk will do picture day. Arr! It's the grinning picture day face. So that's the Hulk face. Now let's get into the fun little accessory here, which is the rocket. Um, the rocket's got plenty. I brought examples because I wanted to talk about it. But the rocket is decently sized. It's we're gonna take out its blast effect. The blast effect's really nice. It's got this little fun little swirl of fire. You can make it seem like Hulk grabbed it out of the air and pulled it down. It's a really fun little blast effect. And then we have the rocket itself. Where's my friend, Mr. Bat? Here's the bat. And the rocket, now if I put the rocket flat, where its engine is fit on the ground and its nose cone is facing up, the nose cone goes to almost the bat's armpit. Okay? So that's the size of it next to the bat. And then set that off to the side. Next, we go right there because I need to talk about this stuff here. And there's one missile, and here's another missile, and here's another missile, and here's another missile. We've got a lot of missiles from different GI Joe's products. So we have the Night Attack Stinger, and its missile is actually much larger but not by much, just a bit larger than the Hulk breakaway missile. Okay, so that was the Night Attack Stinger. Then the next missile on the list is the missile that came with the scrap iron in the anti-armor drone. Now that missile, very similar to, it's actually the closest fit. And if it wasn't for how wide the fins are on the bottom of the Hulk missile, I'd say that you could get the Hulk missile into Scrap Iron's drone. And if you got two of these Hulk missiles, that would be even better because then you could fill up his drone with Hulk missiles that are breakaway. Really exciting Hulk missiles. So that is the anti-armor drone missile. And next missile on the list is where did I put it? Aha! Now the next size up missile is the Jester missile from the Dragonfly. Now the Dragonfly's Jester missile and the missile that came with the Hiss tank were basically the same. Dragonfly Jester missile has this blast effect plugged into it. Set that off to the side, and let's put them on the ground flat against each other. So the Dragonfly's Jester missile is at the same length as the Hulk missile, but instead of having any like crazy fins and stuff on it, it's got some fins on the back and some really subdued fins on the front. Also, that herringbone connection right between some of the fins. Unlike the herringbone connection for the Hiss tank, which was between the fins. Yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Yeah. So they're very close to size. They're the closest to size, but the Jester missile is thicker. And then finally, just because, why not have some fun with it? Here is the giant missile that came with the Dragonfly, the giant anti-aircraft missile, and yeah, man, that's a big difference. That is a big difference, actually. Hulk, how big is this missile compared to you? How big is the biggest Dragonfly missile compared to you? Oh, it goes all the way up to your face. Yeah, that's wild. Go ahead and hold this missile. Yeah, like that. You don't like holding this missile. It's too smooth. Let's see. set down the other missile. He can hold it in a C cup hand though. That's cool. So we're gonna set that off to the side because we still got more stuff to work with, and I only have a 30-minute counter on this video. Oh, here is the fun effect you can do with this missile. You can pull it apart and you reveal all the innards of a missile. There's some wires in there. There's some hard point stuff. I like this effect right here. This is one of the coolest things I've come across, and I was so sad that it didn't fit the GI Joe stuff, because if they had contacted the GI Joe team and worked out a fitting for this, I think the GI Joe team would have been down for designing one of their missiles that the Hulk could rip apart. Like Hasbro, Marvel Legends team, you should have contacted the GI Joe classified team. You should have told them that you were making a missile that you could pull apart, because I'm pretty sure they would be down for that. They're down for it, and I'm pretty sure that would have made it where they could have sold a vehicle with Hulk associated missiles, and then people would have been like me and had to get the Hulk. Now the Hulk, the way you do it for this effect to go off is you plug the nose of the missile into Hulk's C grip hand, and then you bring Hulk's relaxed grip hand around here to the back of the missile. There we go. And then you just kind of lightly pull his arms apart. And that's Hulk pulling the missile apart. It's that easy to put together, and that's what makes it a fun effect. The effects that aren't too complicated are the most fun. Now let me get the hoses back in there. Remember, that's something I want to point out. Always ensure that you get all of the little hoses and stuff back into the missile when you're putting it away, because they do like to pop out, and I don't want you to bend your plastic stuff. So we're going to set that effect off to the side, and next thing we're talking about are is it time for the hands? Oh, it's time for the hands. Okay, so we're not gonna talk about the fists. Okay, there comes two fists. We all know what the fists are. We're all happy with fists. Fists are fists. We know fists. Okay. Actually, only thing I'll mention on fists is once again bringing out the bat. Boom. Fist is as big as the bat, and there it is. If I had a Dremel and a spare Hulk, I'd actually change one of the fists so that it could fit, so we could have a bat that has a fist for a head, and call him Fisticuff. Okay, so that's the fists gone. Let's bring out the effect, because I think we're now down to our fun stuff. Yeah. Oh, one thing before I forget. So because it's fun, Minimus Hulk, Maximum Hulk, Minimum Hulk, Maximum Hulk, Minimum Hulk, Maximum Hulk. Oh, it's so fun. Lego Hulk. We're just Minimum Hulk, Maximum Hulk, friends forever. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Ah. They like each other. They're friends. Okay. That's just the mini. That's the Lego Big Fig Hulk. It's just fun to compare them. Lego Big Fig Hulk actually only goes to the rip, just to the knee, just below the knee for Hulk. I just found that funny. Now, oh nuts, the hair fell off. Oh well. Let's talk about the hands now. Let's get his hands in order. First hand coming up is relaxed hand. We're gonna separate the relaxed hand away. There we go. Pulling that off. Now, here we go. We're going to put on the blast effect, because he's got this swooshy blast effect, and it's important for this step. So we're going to swoosh. We're going to slip the swooshy blast effect onto the arm. All right. Come on, swooshy blast effect. It is a little difficult to pose. There it goes. Okay, so it's locked onto the arm, and now we can lock the hand in place here. And then we slide the swooshy blast effect down to cover the hand. There we go. One clapping hand installed. Next clapping hand. Hold that C grip hand off. Okay, relax grip and C grip. You can go over there. And then other clapping hand. There it goes. Oh, wait. Forgot. We gotta plug that blast effect in. Okay, so this blast effect is really cool. It's a big old swoosh that's the bottom. It's the shape of the bottom of a U, or like a C with the two edges cut off. It's a big swoosh, and it's supposed to be like, he's moving so fast that the swoosh happens. I like it. It's a fun little effect for Hulk. It's a nice little effect for Hulk. Let's plug this hand in. Now slide the effect down to cover the back of the palm. And now we have his hands doing that. And now we can take and move his arms as far forward as they will go on their butterflies. There it goes. Okay. And then we're going to pick these arms up just a bit there and there. And then they spin around. This is where that spinning I mentioned earlier comes into play, because you got to rotate him just a bit more than normal to really get this effect off. And he's just kind of got prayer hands, so you're just kind of getting him into prayer hand position. There it goes. Now this is the most annoying part of the figure, is getting this right, because getting it wrong really sucks. There. I think you're as right as right can be. Yeah, you're right as right can be. So now we take this blast effect here, and what we're going to do, how I hold it in place, is I bring the blast effect in, and I slide it in between the hands just a bit, so the fingers can touch it. If he would just cooperate. I think you got one more click in, right? Yeah, that's the problem. The left side hadn't gotten that last click in. And remember, make sure those butterflies click. Okay, there we go. Now that's better. Yeah, now your arms are together. So we can take this blast effect, and what I do is I hook it on the thumbs. So we just kind of bring it into the hand a bit. It's a hard blast effect to really get right, but you bring it in a bit, you rotate the hands just a little bit, kind of rest it. Oh, darn it. He hit a split while I was trying to fix that. Let's go ahead and put him in a squatting pose. He needs to be in a more stable position for this to work, because he's always in a more stable position when he's clapping anyway. There we are. Now you're gonna fall. Darn it. Alright, but you get the effect. You're supposed to pose it in there. It doesn't really stay in. I wish they had actually included some little, some plugs on the sides of this blast effect and some tiny little holes in his hands, so that you could have easily just plugged the hands together. And I don't think anyone would have balked about plugging the hands together. Not at all. But you can just pose it in. Here we go. I got it to stay. Isn't that nice? It's fun. And taking the blast effect out, I know, I just worked that hard to get it there. You can also flatten his hand out, and then you bend him forwards on all of his stuff. You bend his legs forwards, squats down. I do wish he had a drop-down hinge, because you can't really get the whole Hulk slapping the ground, because you could do a Hulk slap ground pose. I think more other people can try and figure it out. So let's go ahead and remove these hands. They're just really fun. So what we'll keep the Hulk slap hands, because Hulk has to say the pimp's prayer every now and then. Especially when Ross comes around, Thunderbolt comes walking around. Hulk says the pimp's prayer. Okay, let's do a few more size comparisons and call this video a day, right? Yeah. One more important side of thing I want to make sure I get out real quick is I have the only Hulk armor. What is he? Hulk, anti-Hulk armor. Hulk Buster Iron Man. Oh, my luck sucks today. My luck sucks today. Are you okay, Hulk? You're not hurt from that? Let's go ahead and bring your joints back. You were like fully in butterfly when that happened. I hope you're okay. I did not mean for that to happen, but shh, today is my day. Okay, compare these two together. I think these work pretty good. You've got a good comic style Invincible Iron Man, I think. Toy Biz Hulk Buster. He's got these big old hands. They can grab the Hulk, his head. That's cool. They work out pretty good next to each other. It's wild how close to sizes both of these guys are. Especially when you stand up the Toy Biz Hulk Buster all the way to his full height. His center's loose. He stands the same as Maximum Series Hulk. Their waists, or your waist's about the same width too. No, Iron Man's waist is definitely skinnier than Hulk's. That's why Iron Man has some problems, and Hulk doesn't have many because Hulk's waist can actually handle his weight. Iron Man's is a bit small, and that was a fault of Toy Biz. But their upper bodies are about the same, nonetheless. That's just cool. I wanted to point that out because I thought that was neat. And here's another fun comparison, just because we're having fun now. Um, what is stuck on me? There it is. M.O.D.O.K. M.O.D.O.K. and the Hulk and M.O.D.O.K. The Hulk, rah! Of course, M.O.D.O.K's face is larger than the Hulk's face, but there's a comparison. M.O.D.O.K. on his stand still is smaller than the Hulk, but M.O.D.O.K. is definitely wider than the Hulk. Um, Now, finally, I just because this guy is also known for being a big fig is Wrecker from Star Wars: The Bad Batch, and I got Wrecker a holding roadblocks heavy duty giant chain gun, but that's them together. Now let's finish this video out with final grades and thoughts. My final grade for this character is this is an S class. This is an action figure that should be in your collection if you're collecting Marvel Legends. He is definitely up there on the size. He's good on the weight. This figure is top notch. I think. Is he worth the $60? Yeah, yeah. This figure's worth the $60, in my opinion. I think that this figure can go a long way, and we'll most likely be seeing repaints of him in the future and stuff like that. But nuts. I keep knocking him over. But that's my final thoughts on him. He is a good figure. I'm glad that I got him. I'm glad I put him in my collection. I'm just now getting annoyed with the fact that he doesn't want to stand anymore. Even he's tired. He's tired of filming. I'm tired of filming. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I've been Blind Prime, and this has been Hulk. Hulk, please, please, Hulk, please stand. He doesn't like something that happened today in the videos. Until next Prime. Bye bye for now.